Right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We've got the coach and the captain here. Dobbo, if we can start. A couple of players missing that played last week. If you can maybe just run through, obviously I'm not sure if the two flanks in the second row is a tactical idea to play a quicker game, or also if you can just maybe talk about how serious some of the injuries are, like Warwick or Irvan, I might not know.
I think, we played, well, as I said, we played more games than anybody else by stretching the competition, and the British and Irish Lions game, and a couple of these tough cycles, so 3 and 8 days or 4 and 14, were always going to take its toll. And we knew that the last week's cycle, I think from the start of last week's cycle to the end, we'd taken from our team players the quality of Sibella Sinatla, Evan Roos, Marcel, David Mies, and JD Schickeling, and somebody else I forget, and Scarron today, which are really, really big players, Currie Cup level, giant players for us, physically. And so, unfortunately, that's just a consequence of how we had the fixture list. We haven't always had the privilege of bringing in much as one of the franchise players for the competition. We wanted to use it to develop our youngsters, and I think from that point of view, we've done a really good job. But it has knocked us a bit. It's taken its toll on the depth of the squad. I think we're a 45-man professional squad, and about half the guys are fit to either injured or with the Springboks. And also us and the Sharks give away a lot of players to the Springboks, so that's obviously a factor. But having said that, I think we're still putting out a nice, young, talented team who've got real energy and determination to do well. It's credit to guys like Ernst, who's a flank, and Joe is a flank, prepared to do it for the team, and that's the spirit we're going to need on Saturday.
Okay, if you can maybe just run through some of the guys that are missing this week, like Warwick or Irvan.
Warwick, that's another name I forgot. Yeah, listen, we have to be, Mike, we have to be very responsible. The truth is that in a month's time, we're playing in the first game in the United Rugby Championship, which is where probably the future of the commercial models, the union, probably where our fans' passion is going to lie and judge us and everything. And if we can push him and Roos in to Saturday night, I'd love to have him. Got a slight niggle. The truth is, he gets another knock on that. He's got compartment capture syndrome, which is the injury Peter Stefan. It can't be worth it. If it was a Currie Cup final or a QRC final, but then maybe. Same with Warwick. He's come back from a serious knee injury, pushed him through 3 games in 8 days, it's flared up. Push him again this week, he could miss the start of or could miss quite a bit of URC. So I think we have to be really look at the context and be really responsible to the union and to the players' welfare. A guy like Scarra, again, with that quad, put him in, he's got a massive soft tissue issue that goes again, 8 to 12 weeks. So we've had to sort of be responsible and pragmatic and choose a team that's energetic and going to go and leave everything up there in Kings Park on Saturday night.
Suppose as much as you want, obviously, we've been saying it's a quarterfinal, it's a must-win. The team that goes there is going to give everything, but you need to look at the bigger picture a little bit and look at how long we've been playing flat-out rugby for since last year, and how long we're going to be playing rugby for, and what's coming up and what's been, and pick a team according to that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just we desperately want to win and do well on Saturday night, and make no mistake. We put a lot into this campaign, so we played more games, we played more of these cycles. Guys have really pitched up. I think, energy-wise, disappointing on Sunday. We couldn't, perhaps go to home and drive then, and started for a while. It looked like we might, but we have to, and this is where the union, people always say, Western Province this or that. The union and us are aligned that we have to be responsible for the future of the union and of this group and of the team, which is that we've got a team that's fresh and ready to go for URC that can compete, because we're not going to have our Springboks for the first half of the year. And that we can regenerate this group as quickly as we can, add to it where we need to, but that is a responsible thing, because that's where a world of potential qualification for Champions League, that's going to be the thing which our union will, and our team and our franchise will be judged on. So it's been a balancing act throughout. There were times, Evan Roos could have come to Kimberley last week, for example, and I'm sure people are unhappy he did, but the reality is now we have him guaranteed for the start of URC, and that's just the hat we're wearing. It's tough on Ernst because he's got to go and captain a team in battle, but I honestly believe that we've got the belief and the group to do it on Saturday night.
Ernst, from your side, must have been quite nice this week, not to just be doing captain's runs, and to actually have a whole week to prepare and to work on some things which maybe we didn't get a chance to do last week.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think the extra time helped us a bit, especially with some young or new guys coming in who just a change of positions. So I think we had a really good training at the start, and like Dobbo mentioned, we know exactly what's going to be needed, and hopefully, or not hopefully, but we'll stand up and fight for that. I think the guys are really excited. Like I said, it was a good week, and we know what needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose knockout rugby came a little early for us, but it must mean a lot to all the guys involved. I mean, we spoke earlier in the week, we had Runners Jerson, we spoke about 2012 and maybe 2017, where, they pulled off some great wins. It's a chance to be part of history again.
Exactly, yeah. I think the chance is all we want. And yeah, it was all in our hands. We put ourselves in this position, and the pressure's on us. But like I said, we'll stand up and fight, and hopefully, come out on top, whatever it takes.
Cool. All right, guys. Questions from your side for these two?
Mike, I've got 2 questions for Dobbo and then one for Ernst, if I can go ahead.
Okay, you can just ask them one after the other, I suppose.
Okay, cool, perfect. Coach Dobbo, you have moved Johan du Toit to lock. Over the years, you had problems at a specific position due to players being injured. Would you say the lock position took a knock for you guys this year? You mentioned JD and Mayhazen. Even the man next to you, Ernst, who has played most of his Stormers Province games at blindside flank. Now it looks like he has a permanently shifted to cover at lock.
Look, when we start, obviously every campaign you prepare a squad, and we, as delighted as we are, our locks for this campaign, which I think you'd agree will be, a competition top performers were Marvin Ori, Saman Marat, JD Shikelin, and David Mies. And on that, David Mies is not even in the 23. Great reasons. Marvin's made the Springboks have done well there, for which we're thrilled. And unfortunately, Saman, the treatment we tried to do for him in the preparation cup didn't work, so he had to have a surgery. And then David and JD both got injured. I mean, that's a freakish, 4 great locks. That's before we've even got to Ernst. I think Ernst done a brilliant job for us there. So, we're going to go and play a team with the depth of the Sharks with 2 flanks at lock. But they're good flanks, and they're great players and great people. So it is a concern for us. But we'll have them back. David's unfortunately out quite long term. JD could be back for the start of URC, I hope. And Saman should be back for the start of URC. So in terms of our depth, we're probably in our darkest hour, and it's nice to be able to turn to instant.
All right, and then last one for Dobbo. The last time Western Province didn't make it to the Currie Cup playoffs was back in 2019 during the Rugby World Cup year. Before that, it was back in 2008. Does this cloud hang over you a bit that you potentially might miss out on a playoff spot, especially with the URC tournament coming up? Is that a concern for you guys?
Look, I think the 2019 was exceptional because of the World Cup year and the amount of guys we had in the training squad, and we just missed out on the last game in Bloem. And you're right, we had a great period up until then. The Currie Cup's important for the Cape, and obviously we want to be in the playoffs. But as I was trying to suggest, without trying to abrogate from that our responsibility there, our real judgment day is going to be the URC. And it's not like the days of past where players went on holiday at the end of the Currie Cup season and some guys went on an interview tour and played their way into that. We're now looking at a tournament, if we played in the Currie Cup final, there's 1 weekend off. I mean, this is something that Bulls or Sharks, or Pumas or Brickwood or us, whoever's going to be 1 week, Pumas and Brickwood, sorry, won't apply, Bulls or Sharks, 1 week off, and then you're starting away in Europe in the URC. So, there's a silver lining to if one's not in the Currie Cup final, it gives a chance for these players to rest. I think, as I say, we've played more games than everybody else, but everybody's been on the go since Superhero or Superfan Saturday in August last year. And, desperately want to make the Currie Cup for our pride, for our franchise, for our egos and everything. But there is an upside in that we can maybe circuit break and rebuild and refresh some of these poor guys who've been through so much. So it does sit in the back of our mind. Don't want that record. But in terms of the URC, you asked about the URC. In terms of the URC, it may not be a bad thing, but for our own pride, we really want to do well.
All right, thanks, Dobbo. And then to add us the last one, looking at the context of the game and amount of players missing out, what's the mindset of the players this week going into a must-win game against the Sharks?
Yeah, I think the guys coming in are hungry. I think the mindset is just, to do whatever it takes. Like I said, we spoke quite an honest chat this morning. It's literally to stand up and fight in whatever is going to be needed. Obviously, physically, us as forwards are going to have to stand up. They also have a good back and also play sort of the right game. Might be some wet weather, and I think we'll be prepared for that. I think the biggest mindset is just doing whatever it takes to keep working. yeah, I think if we do that, we can walk off the field proud and hopefully the result will be in our favor.
Cool, Nathan, you happy, yeah?
Oh, yes, thanks, Mike.
Cool.
Mike, can I go?
Dobber, an interesting aspect of this Currie Cup is that you almost, you fulfill your fixtures and then yet you get all the, pick up more injuries than the other franchises. So it's almost like you are, by doing a good job in terms of management of COVID, etc. It's almost like, it's bizarre that in this Currie Cup as it is, it almost feels like you're being punished for fulfilling all your fixtures.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel a bit tough. What we would have done, there's some franchises I think have had 3 or 4 games off. What we have done for 3 or 4 weeks rest of what we would have done for the players, 3 or 4 bye weeks would have been absolutely massive for us. We're the only, look, we've never had since the pandemic, we've never had to cancel a game or anything due to COVID. We played all our Currie Cup games and the game against the British and Irish Lions, and then finished the Lions game, got on a bus to Bloemfontein and Nelspruit. So it's tough. I do feel that we've taken a lot out of this team. I do know that they've still got the fight to go further, which is great, which is credit to Ernst and the team and his leadership. But it does feel a little bit like we need to, if we want to be energized and ready and have a fit and strong squad for the URC, at some stage we're going to need a little bit of a breather, right? Because it does feel like we've been through the mill. And people are obviously very critical of us at the moment, and we weren't happy with Kimberley. But as the log stands now, I think the Bulls have won 7 games, and there are a couple of us, 2 teams like us and the Sharks have won 5 games in the tournament, the most, after the Bulls. So it's not like we've fallen off a cliff. It's just that we've had to play and lose. We didn't get any draws and 4 points or anything like that. We knew those were the cards we were dealt early in the tournament, and we probably, as suggest, I did in our power last Saturday to resolve that, which would be a remarkable achievement, given that we hadn't got any free points. But we didn't do that, and we've got to do it on Saturday now.
Hi, Mike, can I go?
Yes, you can.
Hi, John, can you maybe just elaborate a bit on Evan Roos's injury? You mentioned something about Peter Steph's acute compartment syndrome. I mean, how serious is that? And are you sure that he's then going to be ready for in time for the United Rugby Championship?
Yeah, listen, how it basically works, it's like what we used to call when I was playing rugby, lummies. So he's got a lummy and then he's got another lummy on the same spot. And that can cause sort of bleeding underneath the other one. If you get a third one there or another big knock, that can cause compartment capsule syndrome. So Evan's basically just got a lummy now, and that'll go away in the next, as I say, we could have played him in Kimberley. We could have played him now. There's no nerve damage or anything like that. But just the risk of a third knock while that bruising and the bleeding is still there, risk compartment capsule syndrome, which is actually what happened to Peter Steff. Double lummy and then the third knock. And given what we went through with Peter Steff, there was that amputation fear, the one in 21 out of 43 cases at amputations, and a guy in his career, it's just something we're not even prepared to do. It's not even not a hard decision, as much as we'd love to beat the Sharks on Saturday night.
Thanks.
Yeah, so he's absolutely clear for, it's just a lummy, so he's clear for URC, no problem whatsoever.
Just a dead leg, like Gruto said on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hi, Dobbo. Hi, Ernst. Dobbo, yeah, despite everything going your way, not getting the points like some other of the teams received due to circumstances. Ideally, you wouldn't have at the start of the season wanted your team to be in this position, but saying that, it also gives them the chance to show that there is that fight in them, there is that courage, they can stand up, and that some of the youngsters are ready for a URC going into this must-win game.
Yeah, I mean, we took a view right at the start, and then it probably increased that view when those games got cancelled and the points allocations came through to us, that we had to develop our depth for URC. We're not going to go into the market to the extent that some of our competitors have, because we believe in the youngsters in this province. And that meant, let's say, for example, I'm just saying hypothetically, that Ernst van Ryn's our number 1 7 flank for Currie Cup. But, I have to expose Marcel Chenison, Johan de Toy. We had to give Sazi Sandi, Lee Marvin, Mazabuka, Rugby a tight head. That meant leaving Netland out like we did a couple of times. we have to. It's painful because you want to win every Currie Cup game, and the social media will go mad and want my head because we didn't win. But it's been a balancing act the whole time. And the disappointing thing, I suppose, from my side, Paul Lebed hadn't held on, and it wasn't his fault. In Kimberley, we'd scraped a win there, not that we deserved to because we were poor. We would be sitting in the semi-finals with a game to spare and probably sending a whole bunch of even more youngsters up to Durban. So we missed that opportunity. That despite everything, we could have done it with the game to spare. And now we're in the position we are. But out of this late gives us this opportunity. We've still gone and made some brave selections this week. We could have forced Name in and not given Marcel rugby. We could have put Evan on. We could have put Justin Basson, who's played 1 million pro rugby games, into the lock position, but he's not going to be here next year. We've kept with Sazi, Dion Blula, and that's so I think we're going to get a return from the investment. It's going to be great for those guys to play a game with this pressure, and I think it'd be better for URC for the experience. And one thing I absolutely know that they're going to play with enormous fight and pride on Saturday night, more so than we've done the whole year.
John, a bit about the game itself. I mean, you guys have played these guys so often, and they know you, and you know them. And are you expecting anything different from them on Saturday? And what do you think are the pressure points that might swing it your way?
I think, Jan, one of the things and we've been wrong about itself, and us, the sites, is the weather. I'd see at one stage it looked like 30, well, it still looks like 30 millimeters of rain in Durban. And that's going to be a big change because they've got a huge kicking game, as we know. They're amassing Kerwin. I haven't seen the team playing contestables. Fullback. The Lionel's playing 10, so they've also started kicking more distance. So we know their attacking game. We know that they'd like to sort of play with also offload and play freestyle a little bit on attack. I'm not sure if it'll help in the conditions, but their kicking game will certainly be a threat in the conditions. So I think territory, I mean, old cliches, but territory against their kicking game in those conditions will be absolutely critical for us. We haven't been the world's best at exiting after scoring or restarts, so that'll be a major aspect of the game for us. And I think another part will be just how we get off the line, because I think in those conditions, you can put some skills under pressure if you pick off the line. And so that's the sort of area that we'll be focused on. I don't think we can anticipate this is going to be a Harlem Globetrotters game with those conditions, anything like what's expected. It's a great leveler, which may be a good thing for us.
Hi, good afternoon, Coach. Goedemiddag, Ernst. Coach, if I may, can I ask Ernst a question in Afrikaans, perhaps, please? Ernst, jou afrigter het nou pas vir ons gesê, of liever dat ek so begin. Voor vandag se perskonferensie sou ons as joernaliste waarskynlik gepraat het oor die ryk geskiedenis van die Currie beker kompetisie en die Weselike provinsie se geskiedenis in die kompetisie. Maar ek verstaan ook wat die afrigter sê, julle moet nou 'n balans tref tussen die kompetisie wat voorlê en die huidige Currie beker kompetisie. Kan ek vir jou vra as kaptein, verstaan jy nog die erns van die Currie beker kompetisie en hoe honger is julle dan wel nog om in hy top 4 te eindig dan?
Ja, ek dink as daar iemand in die span is wat dit verstaan, is dit moontlikheid. Ek bedoel, van kleins af Nieuweland toe, Currie beker, ek bedoel, dis snaaks, paar weke terug sê ek, soos Dion Blula, was daar toe hulle daai jaar die Currie beker, al was het nog nie hier gewen het. So nee, ek het 'n groot, hoe kan ek sê, experience en liefde vir die Currie beker. Ek dink ons almal wat hier is, almal op verskillende maniere, op verskillende vlakke, maar iewers het 'n koneksie daarmee. En ek kan verseker sê van my kant af, en die Spaanse kant af, is op definitief honger vir dit. Ek bedoel, ek dink definitief een van die mooiste bekers en raak net, soos jy sê, al die geskiedenis. Ek dink, soos ek sê, ons sal hopelijk, ons gaan Saterdag kom en ons gaan veg vir dit. En hopelijk vir die mense daar buite kan wys. Dat ons regtig trots is op die try, en dat ons regtig beker wil hê. Ek dink is iets heeltemal anders wat iewers anders in die wêreld kry nie. Die try en obviously die Currie Cup.
Is daar enigstens, ek vra liewer so, is daar enigstens geweldige druk op julle dan om daai top 4 te haal?
Ja, ek dink ek dink die grootste druk is eintlik maar as wil jy jouself teleurstel. Ek is self in moeilike posisies gesit deur die seisoen. So daar is definitief druk, maar ek dink dit is goeie druk. En soos die afrigter gesê het, soos Double gesê het, dis ook jong ouens wat 'n groterige wedstryd gaan speel en ons weer as baie op die spel. En ons gaan baie uit dit uit kan leer. Soos ek sê, so moet ons beste gee En ja, hopelijk kan ons die wen neertrek.
Iemand anders het 'n vraag.
Ja, Mikey. Dankie. Erns, weer vir jou asseblief. Dabo het nou genoem dat daar Prikke uit is om sy kop op te sit op sosiale media. Voel julle het hom en die afrigters so 'n bietjie in die steek gelaat, veral as ons kyk na daai exits na afskoppe tydens games. Dis 'n punt waarin julle gewoonlik goed is om daai kick receive te ontvang en uit te kom. En dan ook sekere wedstryde waar julle net nie die knoop deurgehak het nie. Voel julle het hom so 'n bietjie teleurgestel en het julle saak om reg te stel?
Ja, skip op coach.
Ja, crack on.
Ja, ek dink eers net sê ons gaan nie vingerwys na mekaar nie. Ek dink ons het 'n baie goeie verhouding tussen die spelers, die leierskap van die span en die afrigters. Ons almal vat saam die druk en vat saam die media of wie ook al dan is aan. Mens kan dit nie ontken dat daar baie druk is nie. Maar ja, ek dink ons almal vat die foute wat ons gemaak het en ons vat wat ons kan leer uit. Een ding is wel seker, ek is vol vertroue in die spelers en die afrigtingspan en ek dink vorentoe, ja, alhoewel het miskien op die stadium lyk die ek almal in die Unie en die prosesse wat ons in plek het, wat hopelik binnekort so vrugte gaan afwerk, al lyk dit miskien so nie. Maar ja, ek back ons 100% die afrigters, spelers, en ook die laaste paar maande die harde werk wat ons ingesit het.
Anyone else?
Yeah, if the thing is finished, I just want to ask John. I didn't take you as a social media influencer. When did that change happen?
I'm not an influencer on social media, but very thoughtful friends take great joy in sending me screenshots saying, "Did you see this shit?" So I don't want to. They all think they're helping me. But like, you see what the Currie said about you.
It's an old cliche. I don't read the media, but I do read it.
No, I don't read social media, yeah, but people take joy in sending screenshots, and I think Adnan's respectable journal had something to say about it. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Cool, guys. We'll let you know on Saturday what the Sharks plan is. Not up to me, but I'll be in touch.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Well, thanks.